Hi there, welcome back to the channel. I'm Ken Hughes and I am here to discuss and to start a three-part series all around the Eras Tour and Taylor Swift and what we can learn as brands and businesses from this unique, amazing consumer behaviours. At the moment, Taylor Swift is rolling her Eras Tour out internationally, having really broken the rules, broken the laws of economics all around consumer spending. So let's have a look at some of the aspects. And part one here is about demand creation. I'm fascinated by what Taylor Swift, who is 33 and has built a brand that's bigger than Dolly Parton, bigger than Oprah Winfrey, bigger than Beyoncé. How has she done this? How has she built a brand to this level of tribal consumer belonging, brand loyalty? Because they're the questions that if we can answer, maybe we can apply some of what she's done to our brands and businesses. So let's have a look at the Eras Tour. The Eras Tour, 52 dates across the US, another 50 dates and building across international Europe, Asia, South America. Now, when she launched back in November 2022, those tickets, the pre-sale tickets, 2.5 million tickets went on pre-sale, and promptly she literally snapped the Ticketmaster infrastructure across her knee. So many people rushed in to get those tickets that the system just couldn't handle it. And the tickets actually never even went on the main sale because the 3.5 million tickets were snapped up practically before they even went on sale. There was carnage. Lots of Swiftie fans couldn't get tickets. In fact, there is a class action lawsuit being taken by about 300 Swifties against Ticketmaster, seeking $2,500 damages each. There's also a congressional anti-hearing trust around Ticketmaster's monopoly because of this situation. And so the tickets sold out so fast. The same thing, of course, is happening now internationally. 8 million people registered for the 3 Singapore dates. So there's 200,000 tickets available, 8 million people chasing 200,000 tickets. How have we got to this situation where a product, which is Taylor Swift Concert Experience, has got to have so much demand versus actual supply? And of course, the laws of economics state that when you have a scarcity of supply, prices go up. We've heard rumors of people spending $45,000 per ticket for Taylor Swift. Now, that's just a rumor, probably an urban myth, but the reality is most fans are spending between $1,000 and $3,000 for a ticket to go to see Taylor Swift. The rate card starts at $50 to $500, but actually, of course, because most people can't get tickets through normal channels, they're buying them on resale, and the value of those tickets have been driven up and up and up. Now, a term called Swiftonomics has been coined trying to explain what's happening here in terms of spending, because this year, with the cost of living crisis, inflation, interest rate hikes, looming recessions in many countries around the world, there shouldn't be this type of consumer spending. This shouldn't be happening. People should be careful about their money. They shouldn't be spending it on what would be deemed a luxury good, entertainment, and so this shouldn't be happening, but it is happening. It's just like 2023 had the biggest year for the travel industry. People are spending their money on luxury, on deserved treats. And so the money is there, and that's the first thing you need to learn as a business. The money is there right now for people to spend, even with what's going on in the world. Right now, there's $500 billion still on reserve of unspent savings from the pandemic in the US, and that is being mirrored all around the world as well. So the question for your business is, how can we get our consumer and customer to take out their credit card and spend on our product? And then again, we have to look to Taylor Swift and see, well, how has she done it? Part of it is through herding and hype. And so because the hype is so heavy here, it's so exciting, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. And as we know, herding from a behavioral economics point of view is as humans, we follow the tribe. And tribes are what Taylor Swift has really, really built. Why are people spending so much money? For instance, the average spend of going to a Taylor Swift concert, okay, maybe you've got a $500 or $600 ticket, maybe you're lucky enough to get one at rate card, you're still going to probably spend another $500 to $1,000 just to attend the concert. Most hotel nights in Taylor Swift City cost at least $1,000 per room. Then there's all the merchandise that people buy, the food and drink before, the parking, the flights to get to the arenas, and also all the money spent on Etsy. And most people dress up to go to the concert in costumes, and so there's a whole host of behaviours which we'll talk about in part 2 and part 3 associated with the consumption of the event, but the fact is those cost money. And so the average person attending a Taylor Swift concert is probably spending about $1,500, which means that every city, again from a Swiftonomics point of view, every city that hosts Taylor Swift for a night takes in about $60 to $70 million just for that one night in local restaurant, hotel, eateries spend. So Taylor Swift herself is responsible for billions of dollars of spend relating to these concerts. So people are spending about $2 to $3 billion on tickets in the US and another $2 to $3 billion on the associated spends, the hotels, the restaurants, the parking, all that stuff. And so one person, one brand responsible for a $6 billion spend in the US, and then another $6 billion spend minimum on the international tour. That's one brand, one woman responsible for $12 billion of consumer spending. And so the money is out there. The question is, how can your brand tap it? How can your brand open it up? And so you got to start asking yourself, well, how has Taylor Swift done this? How has she built this brand to this level? And the answer here is looking at some of the values that I talk about all the time for brands and businesses that they need to reflect with customers. The first one is collaboration. There's no us and them with Taylor Swift. There's with Rihanna, there's with Beyoncé. She's up here, you're down here as the fan. But Taylor Swift has managed, and I've spoken about this in previous blogs, to really tear away the line between us and them. It's a collaborative thing, as is the concert experience. She's also genuine, she's authentic, she's real, she's accessible. And so again, Beyonce and Rihanna don't spend hours every night talking to their fans on Tumblr, but Taylor Swift has done that for years. And so they feel that she's one of them. There isn't this separation. She's also big into excite and delight and surprises, and she hides little things in her videos. She hides little things on social media for her fans to find. It's always a game. And so she's big into excite and delight. And in fact, the tour experience, the Eras tour itself, is a 3-hour masterclass in how you put on a performance. Other artists just come and sing, and they do some little bits around the edges, but her tour actually is an amazing piece of theatre. And so she's always giving back to the fans, always into excite and delight. And so those values, if you can think about how you can be more genuine, more authentic, more real, more accessible, more collaborative, lean into relationships. And again, so Taylor Swift is about having a relationship with her fans. It's not about a transaction, not about selling another album. It's about having a long-term customer lifetime relationship. So everyone there in that arena is there because they believe in Taylor Swift, they believe in the brand, but they also feel they have a relationship with her, a relationship that goes beyond transactions. And that's the secret for any brand and business, to have that. One girl sold her car to attend the Taylor Swift concert. So she gave up independent transport to be able to afford to go to the concert, because the concert isn't just that. It's not just another concert. It's not just another singer. This is Taylor Swift. This is everything for these fans. This is an experience they are not willing to let go. They will rather give up their grocery bill than go, and not eat, and they want that money to go to Taylor Swift. So the question for all of us, whatever brand of business we run, is how can we start that tribal belonging? How can we have that kind of customer lifetime value? How can we tear away the line between us and them? And part 2 is going to focus on that. It's going to focus on what's happening outside the stadium pre-concert and during the concert. How has she built these tribal fans? Even these fans who can't get tickets are still arriving at the arena. They're tailor-gating, and I'll explain that in part 2. And so listen, it's a really fascinating set of consumer behaviours around a brand that one woman has built that simply touches on the values of the modern consumer. And if we do the same, we will also build similar brands and businesses. I am currently waiting for a Taylor Swift ticket in Europe. I have done my registration. It took me 1 hour to register, simply to register to be allowed potentially buy a ticket. I have about a 5% chance of getting a ticket. That's the same for everybody in Europe. And so here we all are waiting to consume a product, probably not going to be able to, and that's just pent-up demand. And pent-up demand is a great way of building hype, and you need to think about that for your brand too. Until next time, until part 2, let's hope we all get tickets.